I'm Nikki Payne, and I have a weird hobby. Hello, welcome to Weird Hobby, episode 6 already. Episode 6! We have Emilio here. He's upset. He doesn't want to wear the hat. Okay, fine. The hat's gone. Eat your cookies. Eat your cookies. He demands cookies now. He knows. As soon as I put up the camera, he knows he's going to get cookies. And so he's demanding his cookies. Come get them, they're fine. Why are you being weird now? Don't be a weirdo. Don't be a weirdo. Come back. Come have some cookies. I'm not going to put the hat back on you, I promise. No hat. I promise. Okay? Eat your cookies. Don't be a diva. Always eating them off camera. He knows. That's how well this dog knows his mark. He knows that he's slightly off camera now, and he's eating his cookies over there. Fine. Eat your stinking cookies over there, you little diva, you little child. Oh, you didn't see it, but he just knocked over his little Christmas tree too, and then left. All right, fine. Screw you. Here's a cookie. Go eat a cookie. Here, have another. Oh, for fuck's sakes, and it starts. Hang on a minute. Hey, Mandy.
I'm sorry to call you so late.
I'm filming an episode of Weird Hobby. It's my friend Mandy. You're on air. Yeah.
Oh, hi, great. Is this a good time to,
It's a terrible time for us to talk.
The Chinese government can't listen to your podcast.
Oh, yes. We believe the Chinese government is listening to our conversations because we're such important people. And, we should make a podcast about that, our phone conversations.
I hope I didn't embarrass you or anybody listening by saying sorry, by prefacing the call with sorry for calling you so late when it's 5:30 p.m. I don't want people to think you go to bed really early.
Yeah, I don't know if you can hear her on speakerphone, but she's saying, I'm sorry for saying on air that, sorry for calling so late. We're Canadian, we say sorry a lot. Because 5:30 is kind of late for me on a Sunday night, because I'm an old woman. In my heart, I've been an old woman since I've been 20 years old. Yeah. Anyway, man, I'm trying to do this, so I'll let you go. Are you good? Is everything good? The boys are good?
Yeah, everything's perfect. Call me later.
Okay, I'll call you later. All right, awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna turn the ringer off. That's probably, you know what? If I was a professional, you could be mad at me for that, but I'm not. So suck it. Okay, welcome to episode 6 of Weird Hobby. Here's the rest of your cookies, baby. Here, your cookies. Have them. Episode 6. So on December 23rd, I got stop motion done. I hope you all saw it. I was pretty fucking proud of it. I must say. So yeah, I hope that you all got to see it. Speaking of you all, last we spoke, I had 58 subscribers. I don't have 58 subscribers anymore. I have 64 subscribers. God, tinfoil really does not do well with a ring light, hey? 64 subscribers. Yeah! 64 subscribers, 69 views of my stop motion, which for a stop motion is pretty high for me. It's an all-time best for me. Come on up, bud. Come on, you can come. You want to join? You can join. Do you want me to put the tree? Are you afraid of the tree? You're afraid of the tree. He's afraid of the tree. So there, I'll put the tree away. 70 is the highest I've ever for a stop motion now. Me crying at a craft fair? Oh, that goes viral. girl. But my stop motions, 70 views is actually on YouTube is pretty good for my stop motion. So I'm gonna call it a success. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I have notes here so that I don't screw up. Okay, so we got the subscribers done. Oh, I'm wearing my chicken socks for you all. Wearing my sexy chicken socks. They're my favorite socks. What else? I'm not using the microphone right now. As you can see, I have a new thingamajig, a new iPad that I'm recording this on. And every time you buy a new Apple product, the holes are all different. The holes are all a different size, so my dingle doesn't fit in the dangle. So I gotta go get a new dingle for the dangle. And so we're just, I hope you can hear me. That's all I can say, because I don't have a dingle for the dongle right now. So there's holes. I say a lot. I'm going to try to stop. Saying New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve is coming up. Very exciting. The only time I go out for New Year's Eve is if I'm getting paid to be on New Year's Eve to tell jokes. My favorite New Year's Eve was when I did a theater show, and the theater show was like at 7, so we were done at like 9:30, and it was delightful. I got home at a reasonable hour, because in comedy clubs, first off, people are in the comedy clubs on New Year's Eve. Everybody, I call it, everybody is overdressed and underwhelmed, because they have such high expectations of what New Year's Eve is gonna be, and so they just end up getting hammered and stupid. And usually the club, I love it when a club, my favorite part of doing a show is when they start handing out the noisemakers to the audience for New Year's before you're done telling you're making jokes. Oh, that's fun. Oh, that's a good time. That's a really good time. Oh, so not soul-sucking at all. Like, anyway, I'm not doing anything for New Year's. I'm probably going to be in bed. Probably gonna maybe buy some Chinese food and go to bed. Do you like Chinese food? Want Chinese food? Yeah, I think he wants Chinese food. He likes Chinese food. So yeah, we'll probably just, I'd say order Chinese food, but I live in the fucking woods. It means I drive into town, go get Chinese food, and then reheat it. That's what I do. Yeah, so I noticed something about myself. So my weird hobby is stop motion animation, right? And I would normally say that this was something new that I became excited about and enjoyed. But looking back, I think I've always been a bit of a stop motion animation nerd, because if you look behind me, this is a painting I did in art school. I'm only laughing because I have a very Hanna-Barbera kind of style. My specialties, my two chosen specialties, like my focus. You did everything in art school, but my focus was sculpture and photography. It was not painting. Painting, I was like, I worked hard and I fulfilled my obligations to get the credit, but it's very cartoony. And I like it, so I frame it. But, I'm not, I'm not going to be on the New York art scene anytime soon. But if you notice, it's the characters from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and the Island of Misfit Toys. Because that's one of my, I have two favorite, what are they called? God, I can't believe how, I talk to people for a fucking living, but I'm sitting here looking at my iPad, looking at myself and it's freaking me out. I'm losing words. I have 90s bangs. That's what I'm noticing. That's why I'm stuttering, because, and I don't need another speech impediment. I already have a lisp. I don't need to stutter now, too, and have 90s bangs. What was I saying? My two top favorite Christmas movies is Muppet Family Christmas, which I don't know if that's just a Canadian thing, because, like, I know everybody knows, like, A Muppet Christmas Carol and all that, but we also had one that was just like a half hour, 45 minutes long, that would come on just on TV when I was growing up, and it was called A Muppet Family Christmas. It was like, it all took place at Fozzie's mother's house, her farmhouse, and there was like an icy patch at the front door, so every time a new batch of Muppets came in, everybody slipped on the icy patch. I don't know, let me know if you're an American watching this, like, did you guys get Muppet Family Christmas? Like, I feel like, I don't know why I think it was just Canadian. I don't know why that's in my head, that I think it was just Canadian. I don't know. Probably out of my mind. And my other one, they're tied, is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is stop-motion animation. It was claymation. And so, yeah, not only did I paint that, but I also have all of the... I don't have any Muppet. I don't have any Muppet Christmas ornaments. So part of me thinking, is Muppet Family Christmas my number one, or is it my number two? I don't know. But here's, lots of people have bought me Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer ornaments over the years. These are just some of them. This is Rudolph and his girlfriend Clarice. I don't know if you remember that, but Rudolph got himself a lady while he was out gallivanting around on his adventures. My favorite, Yukon Cornelius! Oh, God, I'm gonna marry a man that looks like Yukon Cornelius. I just know it. I just know it. He's fucking awesome. Yukon Cornelius. Here's Santa. Santa with some of the misfit toys, when Santa stopped being a bit of an asshole, because he was a bit of an asshole in this movie, let's be honest. In the beginning, Santa was a bit of a dickhead, and but then he came around and he went and got the misfit toys and took them to the children. And the abominable, the Bumble, and the elf that wanted to be a dentist, but we all know it meant that he was gay, right? We know that, right? We know dentist was code for gay, right? Like, we know that Hermie wasn't so much interested in teeth as he was in the company of other dentists, I think. You know what? And this was done, like, I think in, like, the 40s or the 50s, so Hermie was out there. He was loud and proud back when it was not cool. So, good for you, Hermie. Hermie's a goddamn gay icon. Love it. Love it. So, yeah, so I think I've been a fan of stop motion a lot longer than I thought. Okay, so where are we at here? Okay, yep, I showed you my Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer collection. Very cool. New Year's Eve, I'm not doing sweet fuck all. I showed you the sexy chicken socks. All right, so let's do the post-mortem on my stop-motion animation. My stop-motion animation, if you haven't seen it, stop this video right now and go back one video and watch it. It's called Payne Family Christmas. It's based on a true story about my father dressing up like Santa and getting drunk and not coming home. And then 2 a.m, my mom saw a drunk Santa wandering down the road, and she yelled at him and made him come inside. And she was yelling at him, and as she was yelling at him, she realized it wasn't my dad. It was a different Santa, and his name was also Donnie. So there was multiple drunk Santas in our trailer park and multiple Donnies. So I imagine at that point my dad was probably getting reamed out by this Donnie's wife, I'm assuming. Either way, it all worked out. It all worked out. Anyway, go see it, because I worked really fucking hard on it, and I'm really proud of it. I think it turned out, it was the first time I'd ever put my voice to it. Like, it's the first time, because normally all I've done, because if this is the first time you're watching this channel, I'm like, I pay my bills by telling jokes. I'm stand-up comic, working stand-up comic in Canada, and that's how I pay my bills. And my hobby is stop motion animation. So, is my life pretty fucking awesome? Yeah, it is. I won the lottery. So yeah, it turned out so good. So, I don't know what to do with the scenery now, because I just live in a little house. Like, my house is not huge. I don't have tons of storage, but I kind of want to keep, like, the sets. So if any of you have any ideas on how I could organize the sets so that I could, maybe keep them, but they need to be, like, compact, and they need to be able to fit in, like, a small little space, because I don't have tons of closet area in this house anymore. I'm running out of fucking, I need to build a garage. I think that might be my first, I wanted to redo the bathroom, but I think I might have to do a garage just because, yeah, I need some storage. So, if you want to see them again, before I end up probably throwing them out, let's be honest. This is the kitchen, where a lot of the scenes happened. I made little curtains, and I tore apart a Dollarama. Really, Dollarama should be my first sponsor. If I get any kind of sponsor for this thing ever, I'd probably have to get past 69 followers, of course, but if I were, I really think it should be Dollarama. Dollarama really, because, like, this whole show is brought to you by Dollarama. So yeah, I found these little, Christmas decorations that I could pull apart, because they have, like, the really 1980s. Remember that? Like, everything was this kind of, everything was wrapped in this kind of, almost like floof, like shiny floof kind of rope, floofy rope kind of stuff. So I pulled that apart. This is the tree that, if you recall, was being shoved out the front door, and I said front window. That was the third take. I had screwed up I had screwed up and said window first. So I re-recorded, and I did say front door, but then I screwed up something else, and then I was so flustered, I went back, did it again, but fucking said front window again. But I think you guys got the general gist of it. And at that point, I was so frustrated, I was like, I'm not going back and doing it again. But this is the tree that my mom shoved out the front door. My mom, her only note was, that never happened. I never shoved a tree out the front door. This is not a channel about gaslighting, so I'll move on. Here is my mom's doll. She saw it and she liked it. She thought it was funny. I think mostly because she's skinny and pretty. But she also likes her. So, yeah, this is my dad again. My dad didn't have front teeth. I don't know how he lost his front teeth. I don't know. He has false teeth now. But he didn't have front teeth when I was a little kid. I didn't ask him any questions. And he had black hair, so I think that about him. And my dad, shortly after, like, when I was probably about 10 or 11, my dad got false teeth, because he didn't have much going on in front. And, he used to put them in the, glove compartment of his truck. And when I was a teenager and I was driving my dad's truck, my best friend opens the glove compartment and his fucking teeth land on her lap, and she's like, ah! Ah! And I almost went off the road. It was good times being a kid. Anyway, that's that. Check that over here. I have a hot chocolate, by the way, my drug of choice. Hey, baby. Hey, baby, you less mad at me now? You're mad at me because I put a Santa hat on you. Oh, what a horrible life. This is our kitchen, which looks a lot like our kitchen. And this would be the other drunk Santa, Donnie. I love my little phone. I love the little phone. If anybody's wondering how I got the cord like this, it's I took a little bit of embroidery twine and wrapped it around a pen, taped it on both edges so that it stayed on the pen, then sprayed it with hairspray and let it dry, and then I still have like the curly cord for the phone. I love it so much. It's those little things like that that I don't want to throw it out. I don't. It makes me sad. Anyway, that brings me to, what's the next stop motion gonna be, guys? I knew immediately one thing I learned is that it can't be that long of a story. That's the big thing I learned, because this took me, gosh, when did I start? I started sometime in late November, early December. I started with the builds and stuff, and it was I was cutting it close. I was done I wanted it done by the 23rd to put it up, and I think I finished on the 22nd. So I was coming in close. So it took weeks. And the entire video, after weeks of work, and I would say a whole afternoon of filming, was 1 minute, 8 seconds. So I'm not going to be making a feature film by any stretch, because that was a lot of work for 1 minute, 8 seconds. That's where this reminds me of stand-up. In a lot of ways, stop motion is so different than stand-up. But in that sense, it's the same, because I remember back when I'd start, I'd be I got 5 full minutes, man. And then by the time I'd really edit it down and really kind of tighten those jokes up, I had maybe 2 minutes, and it was heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking to see all that work, and then it's just 1 minute, 8 seconds. Oh, God, so much. So I know that the stories have to be short, which is great, because I have a whole bunch of stories that didn't really fit stand-up, right? Because they don't have that set-up punch kind of I've never been able to fit the stories into stand-up. And, but they're funny, they're fun stories, but they're not just man, that kind of hit, right? And, but they're not short stories either. They're not long enough to call them really a short story either. So, I guess basically what I'm saying is shitty jokes that didn't work are gonna be my stop motion. Yeah, well, you know what? I make everything work, even my little dog. So, yeah, the 2 stories that I'm thinking about, you can input, all 64 of you. You can input if you like. That's what's kind of great about having a small channel, is that you actually can input and tell me what the hell you want. So I'm thinking one of these stories, either the story of the Sackville Winter Carnival. I grew up in a town called Sackville, Nova Scotia. It's just outside Halifax, Nova Scotia. And we had a Sackville Winter Carnival. I don't know if they do it anymore, because probably of this situation that happened. There was a legal kerfuffle. I'll just say that. There was a legal kerfuffle that kind of messed with our mascots, okay? So a mascot legal kerfuffle during the Sackville Winter Carnival. There's that one. Or there's a story of how I got kicked out of the Tim Hortons on Sackville Drive as a teenager. I got banned. I didn't just get kicked out. I got banned from a location of Tim Hortons in Sackville, Nova Scotia. So yeah, let me know which one you guys would like to see. And yeah, because I'm going to make one of them. Probably whatever one's shortest, to be perfectly honest. But if you guys are like pro, like there's one that you're like, yeah, we want to see it, then for sure that'll be the one. Okay, so I'm going to take my 90s bangs and probably go clean them because my hair goes very 90s when it's dirty. It gets big and 90s. All right. See ya. Love ya. I have a weird hobby.